In this procedure, you're going to be observing this equilibrium. So this reaction is already established in the cobalt chloride solution that's being used in the lab. So when you dissolve cobalt chloride, CoCl2, in water, this is the way it actually exists, as a balance between these two forms, that we have the cobalt bound to water molecules, or we have the cobalt bound to chloride ions. And it just so happens that these are different colors. That when cobalt is bound to water, it appears pink, and when cobalt is bound to chloride in solution, it appears blue. So this allows us to easily observe shifts in the equilibrium to the left or to the right, because the color of the reactants and the products is different. Both chloride and water are colorless, but we'll be able to detect anytime our reaction shifts to the left, means we'll be producing more of the pink complex, and anytime our reaction shifts to the right, means we'll be forming more of the blue complex. So I'll be adding different things to the cobalt chloride solution. And remember that that cobalt chloride solution is this reaction. It is at equilibrium to begin with. And each different substance that I add will cause a shift in one direction or the other. This is test tube number 1. To this, I'm going to add some of the cobalt chloride solution, which we can see is sort of this reddish pink color, before I do anything else to it. And to that, I'm going to add hydrochloric acid. Next, I'm going to transfer about half of the contents out of test tube 1 and into test tube 2, just so we have 2 samples we can work with. And then into test tube 1, I will add distilled water. Just give it a little stir there. Now to the sample in test tube 2, I'm going to add silver nitrate. This is test tube 2, about 10 minutes later. So you can see that a precipitate has settled out in the bottom here. For test tube 3, I will start with a fresh sample of the cobalt chloride. And to that, I'm going to add just enough hydrochloric acid so that my solution ends up kind of purple. So I'd say that's pretty good. It is definitely not quite pink anymore, but it is also not blue. So what I'm going to be doing now is putting it into hot water and then into cold water. In test tube 4, I'm going to add cobalt chloride, fresh sample, and then I'm going to very gently try to layer some acetone on top.